And we're live. Sorry, I always forget to do mic check. Yep, okay. Hi. Hello. When last we left off, what was I doing? I think we were right. I did a bunch of rework in the environment, and I wasn't sure if I liked what I did. And I was mentally like, shit, maybe I should scrap everything we did today. But then I didn't. So here we are. Are there 22 people in here already? This can't be correct. I don't know how Twitch works. Nope, my shit's all frozen. That makes more sense. And also because I did that, I lost the chat. So I'm sorry if you just sent me something. Alright. Okay. So this morning we went from something that kind of looks like this. I did a kind of sketch up of what I thought about what I want the world to be a bit. I've been waffling over a couple ideas for a while now. I think I still want the world to be a stage. I think I'm going to stick with that. I did some playing around with color. What do I like? What do I not like? I like that this feels moodier. I like that the new version is brighter. I wish the new version I don't know. Why do I like the old version more? It's definitely darker. It's definitely better if it's brighter. It's not as warm though. I think the color just moved towards being really warm. Or sorry, really cool. Definitely not that. Yeah, I think if you move her. So we're just looking at the background. Doesn't that feel nicer? Than this is where we are. I think I want to be here. It's groovier. Which is kind of moving us back towards where we were, but I guess more saturated and generally brighter. I don't care. Yeah. I want that. That is what I want. That should be really quick to change too. I think we should be able to go in here and just... My god, everything's still running. I took a 2-hour break and I came back with the game open and it's just fine. No memory leaks. It's hard to have memory leaks when you're not changing code. It's not really an achievement. We're just gonna spin this into being a little bit warmer. You are... Are we groovy yet? Let's see. So we were here when I left at the break, and now we're here. Yeah, that's all. That was what was bothering me. Something was really bothering me. Okay. Yeah, now we're in a jazz thing. Did we get darker again somehow? Kind of feel like we did. Here's where we were this morning. Okay, you know what I want? I want the buildings to be darker. Like in that backdrop. Hey, Echo 9 Games. I always stream on Mondays. That's what I do. This is my day off. I'm out of soda, but I have Monster, so today's about to get real. I'm gonna be noodling with this color forever. That's just reality. Did we even get better? I think we got better today. When the fuck did I lose my shadow? Let's concern ourselves with that, shall we? Also, I lost some contrast on the character. Hey, Root Lancer. Sorry, my sarcasm filter is off. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna need to, let's figure out what's up with this shadow. Do you accept decals? I don't know why you wouldn't. If I put a decal. Shadow. Damn it. You accept decals. This is fact. It is a thing that you do. So, where's your decal? Why would that have changed too? That's the weirdest part. You're definitely working this morning. I mean, I added this. Is world ground height not getting set? That's a good question. Let's find out. The screen looks bad. See, now I'm playing it and I think this is just like way too saturated. to desaturate when it goes down. Anyway, something's wrong with the Z height. It's set to 1200. That sounds right. So yeah, that's accurate. X is 1400. Y is 2200. Being productive for college sucks. Sorry. I cherish these years. I know it sounds depressing, but these are actually the best years of your life. You have not yet been beaten down by the establishment. You still are young. You have dreams and goals. You have no responsibilities. Beyond, like, feeding and bathing yourself. Man, if I had the time I had when I was in college. Alright, 2200. This is all accurate. Okay, so if this is correct, what's not correct then? The shadow root is getting set. What else would... That's fine. It's relative. That's fine too. Okay, so now I'm thinking maybe it's, oh no, we ruled out that the decal can't show up. Oh god, what can I do? Let's remove this breakpoint. Because it looks like that's all working fine. Debug, show collision? Yeah, I didn't think that would work. I need to see the decal. Is there a way to do that? I'm actually kind of stumped. Okay, let's try something really simple. I need to figure out anything here. So, I have an absolute rotation. I'm gonna make this decal. I'm gonna put it right under the mesh. Location's relative. That's already incorrect. Oh no, it's being animated. Okay. Better, let's just put it right into the root. Damn it. Okay, so it's definitely something with this decal is not showing up anymore. Okay, so it's not the logic. It's gonna be some weird flag. Excuse me. That is depressing. My dreams and goals are sleep and alcohol. I know, that's why they say that the youth is wasted on the young. You are living proof. There's no solution for this. Someday you'll look back and your body will be broken and you'll be like, shit, remember when I had time and energy? Just kidding. Kinda. I feel like two people just made friends in my chat. This is great. Want to stay up to date on this game? Oh yeah. Check out the Discord. My hype man, Chris Slight, has entered. Gwen Pie. You've never had energy? Have you tried large amounts of caffeine? Don't do what I do. This is bad. Once you get on this train, you can never get off. World's best Discord? Yeah, that's why I was like, I know I'm not gonna run a Discord. And Chris Slight is like, already got this sweet Discord where he's all like, amazing. It's got everything you could ever want. It's got a channel for food. It's got a channel for if you need somebody to help you cheer up. It's got discourse on games. It's great. You guys are great. You know, it's not great. I think they have a food channel. I was in there one day. Yeah, it's hashtag food. Oh my god, there's new pictures of food. Wow, you guys in Britain are really big on your like meat and cheese. I used to think people in the UK didn't know how to eat, and then I found out like they do Thanksgiving dinner every week. Like the Sunday roast thing? Jesus Christ. That's insane. I don't know how you eat such a heavy meal like that every week. Like, in America, we get that once a year. We get a couple other holidays too, but like, that's like a day dedicated to gluttony every Sunday. Nice. Thanks, Selena, for me. It was beautiful. Okay, why are decals not showing up here? More importantly, they seem to show up if I just drag them in. Is this some kind of cruel joke? Oh, that's interesting. They no longer show up if I just drag them in. Okay, something's weird. I take it they show up on when selected and not when not selected? What the fuck? God damn it. Emissive decals work. Isn't this an emissive decal? No. Well, it is now. Ugh. Do I want to be additive? Emissive. Why would... it has to be a deferred decal in order to work on a decal. And decal blend mode. Let's just try random shit. Buffer. Oh God, I'm venturing into something I do not understand. We're about to do some learning. Is for deep buffer decal. Restart the editor. Okay, let's do it. Okay, so apparently this is not going to work. If I switch to unlit, which is what I did earlier, and that's why the shadows went away. So what we're going to do is we're going to try out this new debuffer decal stuff. I'm going to save it in a broken state. I'm going to go edit project settings. If this crashes your editor, I'm gonna save. Yeah, okay. Project settings, rendering, debuffer, decals. This horrifies me because I don't know anything about it. I know very little about the material system. And lighting. But I mean, we're not using much lighting. It's kind of the point. It's actually restarting. I have some luck with it sometimes. Yeah, I have to do this to enable those menus. I guess it's an experimental feature. Whoops. I love messing around with materials sometimes. Like, it's really fun and you can do a lot of stuff, especially with the world position offset. You can do a lot of really interesting things in the vertex shader. But I'm always scared because I don't know what I'm actually doing under the hood at all. Like, I don't mess with materials very often. And so the likelihood that you F up your performance is pretty likely. Pretty very much non-zero. Oh, are we gonna recompile all shaders? Guess that makes sense. Well, while it compiles, how you guys doing? You guys get stuff done today? You crushing it? Starting the week off right? Alright, let's open up. I want just color, is that okay? I guess it's not okay. I guess I get roughness too. That's fine. Deferred decal. Damn it. How do I... Drew some mermaids. School started up again, had some career development. Yeah, that's right, it's January, so you're probably just out of your winter break. Cool. Thinking about the future? Noble pursuit. This guy's doing it. Deferred decal. Why not me? Why won't it let me? Deferred decal. Does it not like that it's masked? Because that's not optional. No. Deferred decal domain need to use blend mode. Yeah, I know it saves performance, but then why do you have this? Hey, buddy. changes. Save the material. Does it really want me to restart the editor? Let's give it a go. The future terrifies me. Yeah, the point is, the blend mode can't be transparent at Go 9 games. That's like kind of the whole point of all this. Because if the blend mode being transparent doesn't work on if you have a decal on an unlit texture, apparently. Which I'm sure makes tons of logical reasons. Some sort of something. I'm not a shaker person, clearly. I like doing things that mess with UVs. I love like manipulating the world position offset. I love that kind of stuff, but like I can't honestly say I know what I'm doing. For animation I know what's going on under the hood. For this shit, I have no idea what's going on under the hood. Masked. Oh, this has to be translucent. Oh, I'm stupid. Thank you. Thank you. I'm sorry. You were right. I was not paying attention. I thought you meant here. Okay. Thank you. Do I code at all? Not really. I mean, I used to write tools in, I script. I've written loads of scripts. I have loads of, Maya tools written in Python, for instance. I've done some pretty intense stuff in Python, I suppose. But never anything like, I don't use C++. I just don't. That doesn't look like fun. Whereas like, there's something fun to figuring out how to make tools for artists in Maya. So I got really into Python for a couple years. I was like really into it and I was making tools for people. That was back when I worked at Marvel Heroes. I was kind of like a art tools programmer for a little bit there. But that's fun because like when you give the artists the ability to do something they've never done before, they kind of love you for it. I suppose it counts as coding. Yeah. Like all my tools are shit I've written. My auto rigger stuff I've written. Things like this stuff. I have some of the best tools in the industry. I actually still have them. Like, I don't want to be brag or nothing, but I still support tools from different studios I used to work at. Like the New Irrational is still using my tool chain. And that was kind of fun too, because you got into like, once you get into the really bigger studios, you get to start thinking about how you distribute tools to other studios, to places where you're not actually physically there, and you have to change how you think about how people get your scripts and stuff. Because it's not like you give people an executable and they execute it. It's more like you gotta figure out what they're gonna sync down on Perforce. No one's gonna run your damn executable to update their tools. Nobody ever updates anything. Yeah, I saw the Python plugin for UE4. I was interested in it. I'm more interested in like the Blutility stuff. Like all this stuff, like this rough, gross backdrop stuff that's all in here that you see loading in and out was Blutility, which is their experimental new thing. Let me show you. So whenever I'm doing level art stuff, there's loads of times I need to just batch rename something or batch do something. Unreal has Blutilities now. Like I have a function called do stuff, which I just keep changing to do whatever it is I need it to do. It looks like the last thing I needed to do was get all static mesh actors, find out if there's this texture, and if so, change it to a different material. And you can like basically write scripts really quickly here and use them in the editor, which is kind of neat. I'm kind of leaning into this actually. Just because I know that this is Epic's stuff, so they will probably support it. Whereas if you rely on like some third-party Python plugin, they may not support it, and I like being supported. Python is... You're probably really good at coding. I suggest something like Lana Lux. Okay, cool. I'm glad I check out. Sweet. Most of the stuff I've done in the past has never been like sit down and write a standalone program. Almost everything I've done has been extending some API of some sort. So like Lua scripting to extend what's in Morpheme, Python scripting to write tools for Maya, that sort of thing. So a lot of the knowledge I have is not... I mean, I know some of the libraries that are out there, but for the most part, everything I know is like very specific to an application. Which I think is fun. It's kind of fun to get in there and like wiggle. Update other people's stuff. I wish you could freeze layers. Where, in Maya or in Unreal? I don't really use the layers. Wait, so we did this. So do things work now? Do things work? Things do not work yet. The working of things. Not currently occurring. What's the deal? Come on, man. Please. This is a really dumb problem. It's happening because I'm dumb. I crave more interesting problems that happen because I am not dumb. Damn it. So you're just not going to show then? Like at all now? Is that the new thing we do? If this was just a lit material, is that all it? I don't want to make this a lit material. Why not? Because then I have to do more due diligence about managing the spotlight that's attached to the character. Because I think it's more fun to manipulate it through shaders. I think I could get more interesting and weird painterly effects. I just really wanted to try to make it be unlit. But my shadow's not working out anymore. It's not working out anymore because it's a decal. It doesn't have to be a decal. I suppose it could be a static mesh. It's kind of weird. Kind of really like it to be a decal. Maybe there's advantages to it being a static mesh. Maybe I could abuse that in interesting ways. Let's keep pushing on making it a decal and making it work. I just don't know enough about this. Would it, like, give me, do I have any lit materials remaining? Or have I managed to get rid of all of them? Character material is obviously default lit. Okay. Let's throw, I think I've set the character to not accept decals. I don't know if I set that here or somewhere else. Okay. Yeah, okay, so this decal super definitely does work on a lit material. Okay. The important thing is to know an if and a for is all. The other stuff is always application specific and different. I don't know. Like, I think there's a little more to it, maybe, I see. I mean, I don't know what I don't know about programming, but I suspect there's more to life than if and then statements. Like, I don't know, objects come to mind. Libraries, structs, that sort of thing. I suspect, I don't know, garbage collection's probably a thing. Knowing where things are in memory, that's probably, like, important. Being able to tell things where they are in memory and then get them back from memory. I don't know. I suspect there's probably some shit there that matters a little more. It's just not the kind of shit I care about. Do I need work in Unity? No, I don't. If we ever reach a point where Unity is a clearly superior application, I'll move over to it. But particularly as an animator, I think it's pretty well known to be the opposite. As far as animation tools go and how much power you have in the field of animation, I think it's pretty established that Unreal is winning in that regard. Unity is winning in other ways, but I mean, I'm not really the one to articulate that because I'm not a person that sees both. I've used the Unreal Engine. I have a serious bias. I really want Epic to do well. I want this engine to keep going because then I don't have to learn another fucking engine. So that's kind of where I stand on the issue. It's getting warm in here. Right. So the debuffer thing didn't help. So what is our deal here? Let's, I don't know, Google it, shall we? You are not helpful. UE 4.18. Decal unlit material. Ooh, by setting a 0. No, that is not true. I mean, fine. Yeah, but then it accepts lighting. That defeats the point. I need a material that accepts decals but not lighting. Maybe it... Getting real whiny right now. Again, it depends on your application. If you program a puzzle game in Unity or C# and you don't care about stuff like garbage collection, you can't do anything in C++ that you couldn't do in C, and it has no objects. The basics are simple, but programmers like to make stuff look more complicated than it is. I programmed since 15 years or so, from games over software interfacing, MIDI keyboard to hardware things. Alright, you know more than me. Fuck it. Fair enough. I'm not an engineer. Look, man, if an engineer that's been programming for 15 years across many different things believes that all I need is, like, loops and if-then statements, then okay. Cool. I'll take it. Unity pretty good for optimization, especially if you're making a game for mobile. Yeah, that's true. Hey Katie, what's up? Oh shit, I always do that. Or I try not to do that. I try not to use people's names unless they want me to. This is an early animation hangout, is it? All Gouda. Oh, you're both in my time zone, right? It's 5 o'clock. Katie. I'm an animator and I'm trying to figure out weird material bullshit. Like... Oh god, this guy's problems are dumb. I might just have to accept this. God damn, I really wanted to use decals. There's various reasons why it would be nice. What were you furiously Googling? For people that don't know, Katie is a bomb-ass chalk artist in New York City. She's incredible. I love her work. You should definitely follow her. Also, she's a animator that in New York that does mocap cleanup for 2K. Did I do that right? It's 2K, right? Or is it Rockstar? Are they the same? Bueller? But yeah. She cool. I like to open with the chalk art stuff because I honestly think that's cooler. I know you're like a legit professional doing a lot of awesome shit in animation, but the chalk art thing is cooler. I do the same thing with Tim. I'm like, yeah, he's a strong man, dude. Also, I mean, he's animated everything you've ever heard of. Cool. Damn it. Okay, options. I make the floor accept lighting. Drawbacks. Now I have to deal with the fact that the floor accepts lighting. Kana didn't want to do that. I wanted to play around with something else. Option 2. I make the shadow a static mesh that's masked and also an unlit material. Drawbacks. If I ever want the ground to wave or anything like that, now I'm gonna have clipping. Also, just in general, there's gonna be more clipping. I don't know if that matters. I think it could, actually. I'd rather the shadow be a decal. Is there a way to tell a material it doesn't accept lighting? Other than setting it to unlit. God damn it. Wait, maybe that's the problem. Oh, shit. Maybe if I just set this to, emissive? Is that such a thing? No. Decals don't blend into the emissive. Would this work? Maybe. This is a long shot. Maybe putting something into the emissive channel changes the emissive channel of the material you're decaling. And I just totally don't understand decals. Oh my god, that is the case. Ha! Suck it. Forces that be. Okay, good. Yeah. Let's... Wait, no. Wait, was that an illusion? Why does it go away when I click off of it? Are you just fucking with me? What does that mean? Does that mean it's not gonna work? Yeah, that means it's probably not gonna work. Why would you do that? It's just cruel. materials scare me since I tried to put it together in Unity. Yeah. You found a Unity feature that's only supported on PS4 graphics hardware. Fuck. Decals are so cool when they work. Like, one of my favorite things to do was, like, project a decal down onto an undulating surface or something like that. You can get really cool shit to happen. Not that I need that. Maybe this... No, I do not want this to be a static mesh. I want this to be a decal. There's just too many reasons why that's just going to save my ass. I don't want to deal with the clipping that's potentially going to occur if this is a static mesh. It's got to be a decal. I need to get this working again. I need to move the floors back to being unlit. Which means I'm going to have to deal with managing the spotlight for the player. Such that it never hits the floor. Or somehow, maybe there's some settings I can set with the floor that really will make it so that the light doesn't affect it. Let's get on to that. Okay. Decal material. I'm going to revert everything I did with you. We're not saving this. Decal material. Also, reverting that. Okay. I never committed anything to Perforce this morning. La la la. Okay. So if I play the game, I still have shadows not showing up. Also, textures are blurry. That's interesting. It's new. I know why that's happening. I can fix that right now. Oh, hold on. Focus. So... against my will, this is going to become an unlit, or this is going to become a lit material. Claim that this will look exactly the same, but I think we all know that's a lie. It does look pretty similar. Hey, look who's joining the party. You can see these little, look at the little shadows, they're back. They're extremely light. I don't know why that's the case. Oh, probably because we were fucking with them. Let's bring them back. Neglecting the chat today. Whoa. What is this? Oh, there it goes. Later, Katie. Thanks for dropping by. Curious. Why are you lightening the world now? And now you're gone. Normal. No, that's not good. Confused as to why you are so light all of a sudden. Okay. Okay, because this is coming through the emissive, maybe shit, I don't know. Can you darken something that comes through the emissive? Let's try and set the decal to additive. Right, I can't. You know, let's go enable that weird stuff again. But I reverted. Let's turn on. Shoot, where was that? Project settings. Debuffer. Sure. Whoever said that earlier, that this was just the highlight when you select something, I think they were right. It's not actually the color. Boo. Alright, let's mess around with this stuff. Let's see if you're debuffer emissive. I swear I saw that. Did I not? Dude, what is it gonna take? Now we're changing things at random. We've hit desperation. See, I'd be cool with that. But I guess you can't use that to darken things. Alright, I'm gonna assume that this isn't gonna work. So this person is speaking about Oh, maybe I needed to do this. Oh shit, that didn't work. That was just a tease. Okay, let's see. Project settings. Early Z-Pass. Opaque and macked. Okay, now theoretically I should be able to use this stuff. Maybe. I don't want to say with 100% certainty, but I don't think it's possible to darken an emissive unlit texture with a decal. It always seems to blend it as additive or not at all. I've used the custom depth buffer for certain things already. Like, I punched the yellows out of the post-proc that I have running over the world. Like here, I'll show you. The world is actually mostly gray with some yellows and some browns. Like this is the world, and I have a post proc that runs over it that turns everything a shade from blue to purple. But I cut out anything that you see, like those yellow lights. I push them into a custom deep Z buffer so that the post proc it ignores them for the most part. Yeah, I think I showed this material off earlier today. I was futzing with this. This is what I was messing with earlier. This is exactly where I'm doing it. Get the custom depth buffer. Basically have this purple to blue gradient only affect it like 25% basically. That kind of shit I'm actually quite familiar with. It's decals that I've never... they've always just kind of worked, but I've always kind of been in an environment where we used lighting more. So, I think you might be accurate. I think you might be right. Like, let's Google it. I bet I can't. UE4 decal to darken unlit material. That is a very specific problem. Yeah, no shit. Going down a rabbit hole here. Oh no. Chris Lum, I'm sorry, man. Hey Chris, Root Lancer says to delete your cookie, your history cookie. There's gotta be grumble. Stain doesn't work? I feel like stain should do that. Does not work for, I don't have baked lighting, that's the thing. It doesn't work for unlit either. That's the unsaid fact. God damn it. Alright, let's do something crazy. Let's put it in the post-proc. That won't work. That won't work unless it's a static mesh. Well, looks like the shadow is going to be a static mesh. At which point, maybe I don't even need to put it in the post-proc. At which point, maybe this doesn't even need to be lit. So, behind door number 2. Oh man, this is gonna suck. Really? You can't just... Here we go. Man, this is gonna suck. I just know it. Because there's gonna be so many times when the pawn is moving up and this is moving... Okay, is there a way to put a decal into the custom render depth? Decal custom render depth. I'm gonna flip the script on this entirely. I'm gonna move away from this being unlit. I'm gonna just swallow the fact that this material needs to be lit and that we're not gonna go through the emissive. And I'm gonna deal with the other problems that'll fall out from that. So you're no longer unlit, you're default lit. Your base color is this. Basic colors maybe this times 0.5. Wait a minute. When you... No, excuse me. This is your emissive color. No, excuse me again. Okay. When this level is not loaded, I want a very strong emissive. Otherwise, maybe take half the emissive of the color. What do we get? That's bright as hell. Directional light, you're off anyway, okay. I set your emissive color to be 0. Shadow actually shows up properly. See, now this is what I want to fight. This is the new problem. What I want to have happen is when you're not loaded, I guess when you're not loaded I need to absolute value. Delete this, make this a constant 0. Oh shit, that worked. Hey Cobra, what's up, man? Where are we? Sorry, I won't catch up in the chat now. VR, you are like me. Every time I'm in a Twitch channel, every now and then, like, I'll look over and VR is chatting. You have an addiction. I feel like I get you, man. Okay. So side effect of this is I'm getting some weird shit on the top here. Yeah, this is good. This is the right way to do it. Fine. Fine. Okay, the current level. So the player and only the top of the current level will accept lighting. And I'll deal with that. Ooh. I wish this would tell a material it can't accept decals. Oh, whatever. Fuck it. Because that's bad. The hell is that? Ah, god damn it. But whatever. Okay. Let's drop into the decal material now. Start tuning that. I don't know what this will do. Now we're just having fun here. That's cool, yeah. Oh, so what that does is absolutely nothing. Alright, let's set you back. You should never try. You should always just give up. Oh, I'm sorry I missed the morning ones, man. Yeah, I try to too. Also, lately, if it works well in my schedule, because I tend to start taking naps in the middle of the day like a fucking infant. But it's kind of embarrassing and I shouldn't admit it out loud. But I like an hour nap in the middle of the day. Eat a big lunch, take a nap, wake up, keep streaming. I didn't today, but that's why my streams tend to have a large gap in between. Alright, so this is not ideal. Perhaps a solution I'll do someday when I'm fixing everything up is I'll say that you don't accept decals when you're unloaded. I know that'll work. And I'll change you over to accepting decals only when you're loaded, and that's how we'll get this to work. Okay. Next, let's other things I need to do if I'm going along with this. If you are on the world space tiling material, I have this concept that I was kind of ignoring for now. Let's bring you back into the fold. If you're working, if this material is applied to something that isn't the current ground level for the character, then I darken it and I kind of turn it a bit purple. Which is what this is. I think another thing I want to do is okay, this is your level unloaded color. Right. Yeah, so if you're on a different level, I also don't want you to accept lighting. Plus this. What's this? Clamps. Go into this. So I'm saying is if I'm doing that stuff where I'm taking into account the global variable z height of the character, and if the z height of the character, sorry, wait, actually. It should be this. If I'm taking into account the z height of the character and the z, multiply that by the actual z height of the character, so now I've got a number between 0 and 1, add that to if this level's unloaded. Wait, where's that? Level unloaded color, would you LARP to based on this? Yeah, okay. Add it to this. Good. Clamp that. This is how I determine if I have any base color, because I need the base color to be 0 for any time I don't want it to accept lighting, and I only want it to accept lighting if it is the ground level of the character. That's probably not going to work. What did you just clip? What did I say? Oh shit, Jessica Mack is here. I was watching some of your stuff. Your GIFs are beautiful on your Twitter account. I'm really hoping to catch one of your streams at some point. I don't know if you're in the chat. Man, Jessica Mack's making like a sweet, I don't know if it's VR or not. It's like some kind of, I don't know how to explain it. It's like a art piece of like, oh fuck, what is, she can explain it better. It's like the bit I saw was like I think a character was like dancing or something to music, and it was beautiful. Thanks, Jessica. Sweet. Dude, I trolled your Twitter this morning. I just kept going back and looking through your videos. And I think I went on your stream and I was like checking out one of your older videos just to see what you're up to. It looks cool. It's like a game and then lots of flashes synced to music. Well, whatever it is, you tweeted out something beautifully yesterday, Jessica. Thank you for doing that. Made my feet a little brighter. Wait, what's going on? Skittles America. Oh, they started talking about naps. Yeah, that's true. Okay. Sorry, I ignored chat for a bit here. Yeah, I call it siesta, and that way I don't feel bad about it. If you say naps, it's like I'm an infant. If you say I take siesta, people are like, wow, she's cultured. It's European. Jessica's work is magic. It's gorgeous. Yeah. Alright, let me do this right. Unfortunately, I've broken everything, so I don't know what state things are in. It's kind of a little bit ugly right now, but this is Kine. Kine is A narrative 3D puzzle game about a trio of machines that dream of being musicians, so they practice music at night. It's ugly right now. Sorry, I just broke everything. This is development. But this is one of your characters. What's new in this build is the music. Let me crank it up. Wrong thing. As you progress through, you can't really see what's going on here because everything's busted. You layer in more music as you go through. That's kind of what's new. But I can show you a working build. Let me pull up a working build so you guys can actually see the gameplay in like a more decent way. This is from December. So yeah, it's a 3D puzzle game where you're one of these characters and your goal is to figure out how to get to a kind of goal location. I'm very good at this game because I made it, but you can easily die. The puzzles get harder. Eventually you have to get everybody together, form a little band. Once you get the band together, you have to figure out how to move in concert. This is still pretty early in development, so please forgive me. I know it's ugly. That's kind. Yeah, they have to move in concert. I don't know what you're talking about, man. I know nothing about Unity shaders. I'm sorry, Megaspell. The symbol, yeah, you can't see the symbol in the version I have now. Like, so basically at the end of each month I have a polished build that I send out to people to like playtest for me, and then I start the month with destroying everything again, apparently. And because right now I'm trying to rework the art for the opening area. When you get to the other parts of the band, are they all in the same square as you? You can kind of stack them on top of each other and move each other around. So like, it gets a little more complicated and like, where's a good level? I just want it random. Right, yeah. So here the drummer's gotta like figure out how to get from there to there. Oops, shit. You kinda gotta help each other out to get through the levels. One actually. You may not need you for this part. I don't remember. But it gets more complicated as the game progresses. Yeah, I was a huge fan of Stevenson's sausage roll. Yeah, you all have to get to the goal. I'm glad you like it, Wheeze. Are you the one? I think I saw you earlier too. Somebody said I should follow somebody named Wheeze. I don't know if you're the same one. Let me check. Are you the guy from like the Nordic dude? That's like got the music. I was listening to you. Yeah, I lurk in your chat, or I lurked in your Twitch stream earlier. I like it because I'm kind of brain dead in the morning, and you're always streaming right when I wake up. It seems like the last couple days. But I'm glad you guys like it. I think Jessica and I are gonna get along really well because I think we both love music and games. Yeah, you play like that kind of Nordic music, right? And you not well, you don't play it, but that's gonna be how I wake up. I don't want to creep you out. Yeah, I've been in your stream a couple times. It's kind of cool seeing somebody else using UE4. That doesn't seem to be very common on Twitch. Dude. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I broke everything because of, I wanted to rework the art. Like this morning we were about here. This is what the kind of entry area looks like now. Ignore the hideous UI. I'm obviously still working on that. By midday we were like here and I decided I kind of hated that. Now I'm like about here. Then I realized the shadow's gone. Because decals apparently don't work on... Hey, Wheeze, decals apparently don't work on unlit materials. That's news. You can get them to work if you use some of their, what do you call it? If you enable debuffer decals, but unfortunately, if you do that, you can't make a decal that darkens the material. So like, this idea that I use decals to make these painted shadows is just not working out unless I use the lit material. Which is fine. I think I have a workaround. I think I'll just make it so that everything's an unlit material except for the player and like the part of the level that you're, the subsection that you're on. Oh, is it the Unravel soundtrack? Got it. No, I'm not the one writing the music. I actually have a musician I'm working with here in Boston. He's like super, his name's Mitchell. He was in the chat a couple days ago. He might drop in later. Thanks for the host, Jessica. I really appreciate it. Yeah, this is all UE4. This is a blueprint project in Unreal. I've never seen somebody with a little verified check next to them. Cool. Did I draw all this? Yeah. With the exception of the musician I'm working with, I did this. This is my little soul. This is my little baby. This is Kine. Obviously all of this is temp. This is actually, if you noticed in the December build that I showed you, it was like just boxes. This is me starting to figure out how to stitch the world together. And make it something a little bit more than that. And this is my struggle right here, that this is going on. I'm glad you like it, man. Let's, I love the music, but I am gonna turn it off, because constantly starting and stopping it is kind of like maddening. Okay, and then we're gonna figure out what I did here and why this is garbage. Okay, so what is the key to break your mouse out of the viewport? I always forget. God damn it. I definitely hit the wrong one, that's for sure. I hate everything. That cello sounds smooth. It's a bass, I believe. The basis holds the world together. It's Euclidean space. The basis holds the world together. Euler, Quat, and Rue are the dancers, or the musicians. The double bass. That's a new thing I added too. People are having trouble seeing the world, so I like, God, you can't see it right now because everything's broken. But when you turn, like, a little fretboard draws, so you can kind of see the grid. If you're having trouble judging distances, it's kind of something I'm playing with. Shift F1. Shift F1. Sweet. Thank you. Right. So the base color. At the moment, dark material of height is not the focus. Okay, let me just get this back to a working state real quick, and then we'll figure out where I busted it all up. Well, it's very dark, but you know, whatevs. Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense actually. Okay, no, that's still busted. Interesting. Okay. So this being busted is actually... What did I change? Cello is plucked, but more often played with a bow. True. Oh, this is supposed to be gone. Haha, goodbye. These two lerp. This will be true. This will go into here. Take your final color to saturate it, multiply by this, add that. Lerp from, turn it on. Yeah, I've been working in video games for basically my entire career. I was a tech artist initially, and then a tech animator. I've always worked with animators, so I started out as kind of like a rigger, working on Marvel Heroes Online. Actually, I started out with other MMOs before that, but we won't talk about that. And then I moved into kind of like tools programming and rigging and tech art stuff, and then I moved back towards tech animation stuff when I went to Irrational. So I was the tech animator on BioShock Infinite for like that and the DLCs and stuff, and that was a great time. I loved that. Yeah, and then I punked out of there and started an indie studio. That was about a couple years ago with a couple of friends, and we shipped a title called The Flame and the Flood out on Steam, Xbox, PS4, and the Switch. We just launched on the Switch this year. and basically every team I've been going from like massive teams to smaller and smaller teams. Like I started out in an MMO, and then I went to a smaller MMO, and then I went to onto like Irrational was pretty big. Now I'm at a studio of 4 people, and now I'm making a game solo on the weekends. So here we are. But I've been using the Unreal editor for almost 8 years. Yeah, it's on the Switch, man. We had fun. Yeah, Chris Lum, all that stuff. I was like, there was stuff before Marvel Universe. We just don't talk about it. That was when I worked with Chris Lum. Chris Lum works on a game called Slime Rancher. He's a buddy of mine that's usually in here. A couple of buddies pop in every now and then. Hey Sniper, what's up, man? Yeah, the Flame and the Flood. It was made by the Molasses Flood right here in Boston. Small team, 4 people. 2 years of development. Crunched like madness. There's the reason we haven't made anything for a while. We're actually pitching around a new project right now to publishers and stuff. I'm really excited about our new project. I'm hoping that I can build enough of a, like, I can get good at streaming and stuff, and then I can start streaming stuff for the Molasses Flood when it's funded. You guys can see us, like, this game is fun and amazing and it's totally my baby, but I also kind of want to stream, like, I mean, there's 4 of us, so that's already, like, 4 times more work. 4 times the excitement. Things get done way faster. Yeah. Sweet, I'm glad you've seen it before, Weiss. The Flame of the Flood is a survival roguelike title. You're a character named Scout going on a journey down a river. The river's procedurally generated. The islands you land at are procedurally generated. Everything is different, and if you die, you start over again from the beginning. Every playthrough is unique. Yeah, I think for our next title, we talked about it as a studio. And the Molasses Flood, we came to the conclusion that we wanted to go with something, we wanted to grow the studio. We wanted to have more people. We wanted to make a bigger project. And in order to do that, we need money. Like, the Flame of the Flood was fun, but it was very much an indie title, and it's not enough to fund, like, a much bigger, or even a moderately larger title. Like, we basically made enough money off of that we could make another game roughly the scope of the Flame of the Flood. And I think we came to the conclusion that we didn't want to do that. We wanted to try to punch up a bit. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I've actually fallen off a bit. I used to be even better at pitching it. I used to have it down, like, the words. Like, there was times when I would zone out and my mouth would just go and I could just give that pitch. I'm not there anymore. It was a while when I was flying around, pitch it, or just, like, the show floors doing that. You do that, like, 100 times a day for long enough, eventually the words have no meaning anymore. No, there's no Linux version. Forrest actually did a blog post on why not. Like, he just broke it down, like, here's what it would cost to port to Linux, here's our estimated revenue from Linux, here's the incredibly large delta. Especially because right around launch we lost one of our programmers, so we just didn't have the capacity to do it. We lost the engine programmer, which would be the one that would figure out how to do that. Do I ever do voice acting? No. I used to back when I worked in a long time ago, in the early days. Like, what my college job was, I worked over the summers in a community theater, and I'd run the lighting booth for different shows and things, which was way less glamorous than you might imagine. Even if you're imagining there's any glamour at all, there's zero glamour in this. You're just, like, lighting bitch. But they did have me, one of the directors liked my voice, so he would always have me, like, intro their thing. Hello and welcome to this production of My Fair Lady. Please silence your cell phones. How old am I? That's a rude question. I'm in my 30s. I'm in my early 30s. I've had other game developers warn me about how they basically lost money by porting their games to Linux or even Mac. Yeah. Yeah, you want me to do that voice the entire time? Stay thirsty? Turn this into an ASMR. Alright, guys. Today, when last we left off, Gwen couldn't figure out how her materials worked. She's currently in the process of fixing her emissive. And it looks like she's failed utterly. Yeah, that looks really quite fucked. Very purple. Today it appears we're looking at an alarming shade of purple. Jesus, guys. Third person narration is definitely the way to go. Alright, I'll start up a... That's good. Because I was thinking, shit, what's a career that's less likely to pan out financially than game developer? And here you guys are, with the answer. Voice actor. I don't know. I don't know. I will say every time, like in AAA, a lot of the background noises you hear in video games are just people in the studio that the audio person has grabbed and been like, hey, we need a crowd. Let's get, could 10 random people come up? But if you're a chick at the studio, you're one of like 5 chicks, and they need it to sound balanced. So they're like, could every female and also 5 random men come up here so we can make a crowd noise? And so my voice has been in the background crowd of like every game I've worked on. I wonder what voice acting pays. Not well. It's also very competitive, and I hope my background wallet isn't actually in games. Have you oh, I'm sure it is. It always slips in. Like always. That would be funny though. I won't explain it. One day you guys will know because you met this early, but like one day when I'm like there's more people in the stream that aren't you people because it has to be a surprise. I'll just start the stream and for absolutely no reason I'll do the entire thing in announcer voice. Third person too, just to make it super weird. And now Gwen is struggling. She can't figure out how. She can't figure out why her shaders are alarmingly purple. Perhaps it's here, where she desaturates the world and then multiplies it by purple. That would make a lot of sense. Linux and Mac made 24% of your revenue. Nice, man. We actually did pretty well on the Mac too, apparently, comparatively. Turns out the Flame of the Flood, I don't know. Oops. Appeals to Mac users for reasons unknown. Let's bring back the lerp. Let's lerp harder. Let's really lean into the matte color purple. Maybe just darker. Golf commentary voice. See, this is why I can't do voice acting. I don't use my voice much, it's already tired. Thanks, Rory. Sweet man. I see. That's bullshit. Promote it here. What do you got, man? Link it. Because I want to know too. Oh, is this the one you already sent me? Oh, yeah. We looked at this the other day. Yeah, I dig it. Okay, you're off the hook. We don't have to look at it twice. Next time on Fishbowl. That's exactly what I said. It looks like Shenzhen IO. Do I want that to be... See, here's why I'm waffling. Like, a couple of things are weird here. Why is this so dark? What happened there? Right. Are you just this material directly? Let's find out. No, you're not. I shouldn't fuck with that. I wonder why Linux users enjoy it. Yeah, I suppose if you're making a game like that, you probably should port it to Linux. I feel like that's knowing your audience right there. Shit, Cobra, that's super sweet, man. God damn. You actually kind of made my night with that. I know it's a dumb thing, but whatever. Anyway. Right. It's just gonna go. Hold on, let me catch up real quick. podcast is called The Dialogue Box. Yeah, they just linked it for you. How should I save up for a 30-second clip of like, what, you need me to say something for like a game or something? If it's 30 seconds, you can have that pro bono, Sniper, for being such a cool, chill friend. I will speak 30 seconds of audio for your game. Have you played Love by Quell Solar? I feel like what you're doing with the edges is similar to what they were doing in that game to get painterly effects on polygons. I think it was done programmatically. Yeah, this was initially slapped down programmatically, but I'm tweaking it now. But let me Google what you're looking at. There's definitely a lot of interesting ways to use shaders to get a kind of painterly art style. People do a lot of cool shit. Oh, this is even different. This is like definitely material based. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely like have a screen space material. What does this look like in motion? That's the thing. A lot of these art styles don't always hold up in motion, but I bet this one, like if you're good, they do, right? It depends on what you're going for. If you want it to kind of dither, if you want to kind of... I want to find a video. What, for 30 seconds of audio? Yeah, I'll do it live on Twitch if you want me to. Just so long as it's, like, not weird. If it's something for a game, sure, whatever. I mean, I'm not a professional audio person, so you're just gonna kind of get what you get. There are materials in the faces, but the edges also have extra pieces. In motion, it's very flickery. Like in a good way or a bad way. I could see it if you kind of really lean into it and make it look like if you step your, something that would simultaneously be infuriating and maybe interesting artistically would be to crush your frame rate down to like 16 frames per second or so, 15 frames a second, and then have it look like an actual, like, animated drawing style as you go through the world. Yeah, that was my notification, I'm sorry. Let me turn off, I'll stop streaming my audio. There, now you won't hear that anymore. Okay. Cool. Glad I can make your year so far. This is the best day of the 8 days you've currently experienced. Yeah, no, you're good, Rory. Oh, you want me to plug my pod? It's an awesome podcast by Gwen Frey and Chris Slight. It is The Dialogue Box. Gaming personality and stage host Chris Slight, who frequently travels, who goes to every freaking game show. He travels around going to like E3 and all that stuff. Started a podcast with me back when I was traveling around showing off the Flame and the Flood. Like, we met because we kept going to the same shows. I think we met actually here in Boston at PAX East. And we started up a podcast where we talk about game dev stuff, what it's like to host a show floor in his case, what we feel about games. Because we're around it all the time and we're always both at all the shows and stuff. We just talk about it. I don't know how else to put it. We tend to be very opinionated because we're around this stuff all the time. And also because people, especially Chris, used to work in the media, so they kind of like have to have opinions. It's sort of what they do. Yeah, Chris also has a Discord server. He was kind enough to add a channel there for Kine for this project. So if you want to talk about this project, I hang out in his Discord sometimes, and I get alerts when people post in Kine, so you can always reach me there. Sweet, yeah. We've actually been doing the podcast for like maybe like 2 years now, year and a half at least. It's been fun. We've been really consistent with it. We've been through some good times and some bad times too, so there's some really weird ones in there. Someday, you know, when I like either make it or I crash and burn and have some kind of breakdown, you guys can witness the inevitable rise and or fall. It'll exist. I'll rename it depending on how things go in life. Someday it'll be Dialogue Box. A cautionary tale. That's probably the more likely. Dialogue Box. Where dreams die. Alright, I'm gonna hit blue. I'll be right back. This is horrifying. There's no more caffeine in my house. All I have is green tea. Does green tea even have caffeine? Wait, what are you looking at? Why is this so little? Did you link some kind of... Is that some kind of, like, hack that he just... Oh, god damn it. Shit, I'm sorry. Nobody click that link that guy posted. He's a dick. How do I kick somebody? Yeah, what's the command to, like, boot somebody forever? Anybody know? God damn it. I am such... Yeah. Even Windows is like, yo, get that off of your machine. An unexpected error is keeping you from deleting this file. Oh, son of a fuck. Ban rec. Oh, sir. C. Alright, now let me deal with this real quick. Yeah, I'm trying to deal with it too, Cobra. You're not alone here. Where's my Windows Defender? Sweet. Oh my god, Microsoft, thank you. Oh man, that was great. Microsoft was like, hey, so you downloaded a virus, I quarantined it. You want to kill it? Yes, Microsoft. Is it seriously gone? All trace seems to be gone. I'm sorry, Cobra. He's banned. Hopefully you have it just as easy. I know, everybody loves to hate Microsoft. The thing is, I can't. Like, a lot of my friends from college went to work there. They work, I went to RIT, so a lot of my friends are programmers. And they all went to work on what is, well, they all went to separate corners of the earth, but it seems like a lot of them have ended up at Microsoft working on the HoloLens. Or in their, like, weird R&D departments and stuff. They love it there. They have a great time. And the reality is, like, a lot of indies like to hate on Microsoft, but we were an Xbox exclusive and we had a wonderful experience. We're very lucky. The molasses flood is the name of an industrial accident that happened in Boston. So you have to, there's a little bit of a meta story here. Like, we all worked at Irrational, and Bioshock Infinite shipped and was Game of the Year and, like, was a really good game. And it was quite profitable. We made DLC that was really good and quite profitable. And then the studio shut down and we all lost our jobs in spite of that. And there's a lot of more to that story, but that's kind of like the gist. So we were trying to come up with a name and we heard about this kind of dark tragedy that happened in Boston called the molasses flood. It was kind of a giant vat of molasses spilled in Boston, and there was this huge industrial accident and molten molasses flooded the streets and a lot of people actually died. But it was kind of funny in a weird fucked up way because they died from, like, molten sugar. And in the end, because of that, that spawned a lot of legislation. There was a lot of lawsuits around that, and now we have various workers' protection rights because that happened. So we named our studio after it, the Molasses Flood. Did that also get rid of... Yeah, his message is deleted. Good. I mean, it's very, very difficult. You have to understand Irrational grew, especially in the last year there, very, very big. We had a lot of staff, and Ken needed time to figure out what he wanted to do for the next game, and like it's not like you finish a game and then you can immediately just jump into the next thing. You need a certain amount of time to decompress, and there's ways to decompress without laying everybody off, and I don't think Ken wanted to do that, but there was a lot of internal politics, and there was a lot of pushing. I can't, even at some point I can only speculate, but in the end Ken left so that he would have some freedom, and he went from working for 2K to working for Take-Two. And in the process he left behind, because he quit the studio, I think 2K was like, well, what is Irrational without Ken Levine? Fuck it. And they just kind of shut it down. Yeah, what inspired me, I played Bioshock after I'd actually accepted Irrational. I applied for Irrational because of the E3 trailer for Bioshock Infinite. I saw that and I was like, I want to be a part of this. The artists there look amazing. I want to be a part of making that. Yeah, I mean, it was... Oh, it's whatever. There's only so much I can say publicly, too. It was no one's fault. It's just... It's a lot of stress. It's a lot of, the way games are made is incredibly stressful, and there's a... And it's changed a lot over the years. And, I don't think Ken enjoyed having such a massive team. I think he prefers a smaller team. I think he's really happy now. I'm really excited to see what Ghost Story makes. Ken definitely, like, he's a guy with vision and really, really wants this game to be, you know, he wants to take his time and make a beautiful game. And a game that really hews to exactly what he wants. He's very particular, and he's a great... There's a reason why his games are consistently very high Metacritic. There's a reason why he makes what he makes. It was ballsy to name the company after an industrial accident. That's true. Whatever. You have to have some balls to start a company. No, you don't. I don't. Like, physically. It's a metaphor. Interesting. The E3 trailer for Infinite seems very different from the final product. That is absolutely true. It was definitely a proof... This is so AAA. You have to make a trailer before you make the game. Partly to see what the audience wants and if they're interested in the idea. Partly for marketing reasons. There's a million reasons why that happens. Speak now, think later. Well, these are words I live by. Sorry, was what because of marketing and production? Also, the reality is they iterated over the art the entire time. I think Elizabeth specifically, her character model changed significantly. Just a lot. She was constantly being iterated on and updated and improved and tweaked. And as, like, initially, this is also something where Ken has a very specific story in mind, and he didn't want to share it with this entire studio when the studio was massive. So there's times when, like, not everybody knows all the story, so not everybody knew certain things about Liz. So some people would push Liz in one direction, and other people would be like, so... I'm talking on the art side of things, obviously. What's the term vertical slice? Oh, yeah. Yeah, vertical slice is when you have, like, a slice of the game that has each mechanic and each thing working and looking right and that sort of thing. And then from there, in theory, you basically go incredibly deep, and then once you have that, you just make a lot more of it. That's the theory of vertical slice. I generally look at it a little bit differently. I think for design, especially a shooter, where you have a lot of different guns and different systems that need to interact, it's good to gray box absolutely everything. So you can see how all the toolkit works together. And then for basically a lot of design is actually about going very wide early and then polishing. Whereas I think a lot of art, game art, and a lot of I don't know, like audio and everything else is about getting very polished, making a beautiful corner, like a small part of the game perfect, and maybe making like a snow globe for each little area, like a beautiful corner for each specific vibe, feel, section, whatever you want to call it. And then I guess I would say game art usually needs to go deep and then wide, whereas design generally needs to go wide and then deep. I don't know if that makes sense to you. Yeah, Gavin's got some good stuff on that. Snow globe is, yeah, some people call it a snow globe, some people call it a beautiful corner. Irrational called it a beautiful corner. I still use the term snow globe because that was what they used back in, oh god, Gazillion, I think. I've decided this is chat time. I'm no longer working. If you want to see more Unreal Engine shit, you can, I'll probably get back to it. I don't remember what I was working on anymore. How much green tea do I have to chug for it to affect me? This isn't so bad. The shadows need to be much darker if this is gonna work. I think I accidentally brightened this. Turn this in 0. I think this is meant to be darker. Still didn't help. Interesting. Is it Shift F1? There we go. Well, I can't make it much darker than black. Actually, wait, this might be what I'm missing. There we go, yeah, it was being lightened quite a bit. How I implemented the level puzzle? It's a series of boxes, basically, with like a skirt over them. I'll show you. Fuck it. So, I mean, you can go back through the earlier streams and literally see how it's all made, but for the most part, there's these cubes. I've snapped to the grid. This is actually what you're colliding with, but you don't see them. What you see is the skirt that kind of covers everything. So you don't see the collision, you see this. glad you guys like it. Yeah, no problem. Still kind of make the shadow darker. Maybe. Oh, that did work. Yeah. Going to delete my save. Take another screenshot. Let's see where we are. What have I done? Okay. I think this is about. Okay, so we started the day looking like this, and now we look like this. From the screenshot, it looks like I did almost nothing, but I swear, there was quite a bit of work done today. I promise. Thinking occurred. It probably wasn't all for naught. You know what I do want to do? I want to figure out how to make it so that this shadow... I'm trying to exit out of it like the game's open. So this shadow right now, it tiles. So like you have the spotlight here on her, and when you go over, eventually you can kind of see it starting up over there too. I want that to not happen. I want it to only ever be on her. Let's do that. Is it typical for an animator in the industry to also do the animation programming, state machines for characters and whatnot? It depends on the size of your studio. Typically, at a large studio, absolutely not. You have tech animators and tech artists, and your animation programmers and your tech artists kind of work together to do the state machines. In a small studio, it really depends on what your engine is. Every studio does it differently. As a general rule, if you're working heavily with state machines and physics blends and things like that, you're considered a tech animator or a tech artist. What I'm thinking now is like, did all that work to make this light like this, but if the ground's accepting light anyway, what if we just get rid of that and rely entirely on the light? And by that I mean, it's kind of a drag because I just did all this work, but what if we... What if we actually nix this? You see how we already have that dull light? What if we pump that up and we add like a gobo to it that gives it this streaking quality that we want? That's probably the correct way to do this. Well, then the streaks will end up on the character as well. Do I want that? Not sure that I do. I don't hate this. It's one of those days, man. Alright. I think I'm losing steam. I think I want to eat some chocolate and then try to zone in and get some lighting work done off stream. I appreciate you guys swinging by though. This has been a really fun day. Let's see who else is streaming right now. Do you guys have any questions, or do you want to chat at all before I go? Thanks, Weiss. I'll be lurking in your... I'll be creeping in your stream too. I like to listen to other people while I'm working. Of course, Root. Thanks for hanging out, guys. I actually do think it looks better. I feel like I did do stuff. I'm not mad about today. Not mad about it at all. I do kind of like this. I think there's potential to really abuse this system if I really take off with it. Do you need to make this not tile though? Sure, absolutely. I'll do a quick run through the game. That is kind of like why I do this, right? You've already seen this. This is me playing around with the art. This version, because I'm doing all this stuff where I'm trying to play around with the main menu, like I'm adding this new thing where you can like go in and out of the main menu. I'm experimenting with like music right now, so here. Let me show you all the ways I broke the game before I show you the game. That's like what you want, right? Something I just started last week is playing around with the music. So, got this kind of like bass. Start the game. You can't see the goal locations. Oh, you can't hear any of this. Let me just start that again from the beginning. Okay. You can hear this now, right? Okay, there you go. God damn it. Here we go. This is Kine. Kine is a 3D puzzle game about a trio of machines that dream of being musicians, so they practice music at night. Some of the things I've been working on are obviously, I've brought in a composer who I'm collaborating with, and he's got this track that kind of goes on. I know I'm like blowing through this, but if you fall off the world, you die. A lot of this is trying to figure out how to get through the world to goal locations. You can't really see the goal locations right now because I hid them. Because on this build I'm working with the art. But if you want to see what the puzzles actually look like, I can show you an older build. This is the December build of Kine. So you'll see each of the machines operates slightly differently. This guy has 2 arms that extend. You gotta figure out how to get him to the goal. This character... Yeah, let's crank open this one. This character kind of moves like this. So she's a little bit more challenging. She's Rue. She's a bit more frustrating to figure out. And this is Euler. He's a trombone. He's very tricky. But also the most beautiful, obviously. Euler angles are how you make art. It's a weird nerdy thing, sorry. Later on, when you get the band together, you start getting to the much more harder puzzles. And these are the ones where you gotta figure out how to, like... Why is this locked out all of a sudden? God damn it, this build's busted. Then you gotta figure out how to, like, help each other get through the puzzles. So now you gotta, like, work together to both get to their goal locations. And this is Kine. Quat's the name of the drummer. Quat is important because he's the most simple to use. I mean, there's kind of maybe a lot going on under that hood, but basically you get exactly what you expect with Quat. Euler has a lot more trouble because you've got these 2 limbs to manage. He's just he's a more complicated character to work with. There's actually no animation in this whatsoever. This is entirely, I have to use the work in concert. Yeah. You get the band back together. They have to work in concert. Gotta lean hard into the puns. When I animate, I use Autodesk Maya. There's no animation in this yet. This is all just LARPing between positions and stuff in Unreal right now. Anyway. I'm glad you guys appreciate the puns as much as I do. Thank you for letting me practice talking about the game. Oh, the jiggling, yeah, that's, I set that up on stream, actually. That was really quick to set up, and I actually should tune it, because it's kind of, like, flips out a lot. Anything you see that's jiggling right now is procedural, so, like, there's no easy way to show it to you. Maybe there is. I can show you the actual, like, node. This is super temp, don't judge me. I know what I'm doing here. I know exactly how to clean this up. It's just a physics bone. It's got a spring controller for the middle of the accordion, so, like, I skinned it so that player, appendages, art, meshes. Here's the bellows. Can I see the joints? Asset, windows. Show me your joints. Show. Bones. All. So say this is extended. There's a bone in here. I wish I could select the hierarchy. I think it's this one. Oops. Yeah. There's a bone in here that's set. All I do is I say find the midpoint between these two and place this here. And on top of that I have a spring deformer on it, so it just bounces around. So it'll just kind of lag. That's it. Pretty simple. There's also the same thing in the feet of the accordion when you saw those kind of jiggling. Same thing, there's just like a spring on them. They just jiggle with physics. Anyway, thank you guys for dropping in. I'll definitely see you on Monday. I stream every Monday for, I don't know, like 6 hours, usually a 3 hour in the morning and a 3 hour in the afternoon. Sometimes I have like sneaky streams in the week, but probably not this week because I've got a lot of work to do. I do quite a bit of it offline. I can't stream it all because, like, this is my personal project, so I do it usually late at night after work when I'm, like, gross and in my pajamas, or I'll do it, not in my Sunday best most of the time. Plus, I just find I don't get as much done when I'm streaming, because I kind of like chatting and stuff, and so I do a lot of the work offline. But I, try to do anything I think will look cool on Mondays. Of course. Okay. I always say goodbye and then I take like 5 more minutes to chat, but thanks for swinging by, guys. I'll see you again soon. Bye.